Hi guys, it's Pastor Rob, and welcome to day 4 aboard the Rocky Railway. Wow, the week is really flying by, but I hope you guys are having a great time. So sit back and relax and enjoy the trip.
Are you ready for the most epic adventure ever? Next summer, Group VBS is taking kids on a ride they'll never forget. Get on board the Rocky Railway.
Hey guys, have you seen Cam anyplace? I can't find him anywhere. Well, I tell you what, let me go take a look around, and if I find him, I will hook you guys up with him, and we'll see if he's having any better luck today.
Hey friends! So I heard that our friend Cam was able to get the train up and over the mountain. He probably won't be back for a few hours, so we'll have to ask him about it later.
I'm here. I made it.
Oh, Cam! What happened to you? Traveling on a train isn't supposed to be that tiring. Isn't the train supposed to do all the work?
Oh, no, everything went great. We delivered the M&Ms and everyone was so happy. And we turned the train around to come back, and we were on our way back, and then I started thinking how great it would be if we got back faster.
Aw, did you miss us?
Yeah, of course. But in order to make the train go faster, you need to make more steam. And in order to make more steam, you need to make the furnace hotter. And in order to make the furnace hotter, you gotta shovel more coal. So there we were. We were shoveling coal. And it wasn't enough, so we added more coal. And then...
And then you got here faster.
No, we ran out of coal.
Oh, that's tiring and frustrating.
Yeah, just when I thought we were gonna make it, the train came to a halt miles away from the station. And I went off hiking to find help while the rest of the crew stayed with the train.
Wow. Well, everything comes to an end. Coal runs out, trains stop, parties end, people graduate from school, adults retire. It's just a part of life.
Well, that is not the most encouraging thing you've ever told me.
Let me finish. Today, my friends and I are learning that Jesus' power lets us live forever. And thanks to Jesus, life can continue on forever and never run out.
Wow, that is the most encouraging thing you've ever told me.
See? I just needed to end my story.
Yeah, but I haven't known anyone who lived forever.
Then it sounds like you need to hear more about Jesus, Cam. I'm happy to tell you about him because, well, he's my forever friend.
Well, let me go find a train that can go save the rest of my crew, and then when I get back, you can tell me everything you have to say.
Okay, I'll be right here waiting. Forever.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. You make us bold and we stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. We're trusting in you. We're off on this journey. There's no looking back. With Jesus to lead us, we're on the right track. Oh, 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 oh. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. Oh, 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 oh. We trust in you. Jesus to lead us. We're on the right track. Wide open spaces for wide open eyes. We're looking ahead for the next big surprise. We trust in you, Jesus. You're all that we need. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, trusting in you. You give us hope and life that's forever. We stand together. Your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you. Trusting in you, your power will pull us through. We're trusting in you, trusting in you, trusting in you. We're trusting in you, trusting in you.
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. And I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. And I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. And I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown.
Hey everyone, it's time for today's Bible point. And today's point might be the most important point that we've learned this week. Because this week's point is Jesus' power lets us live forever. Can you guys say that with me? Jesus' power lets us live forever. Do you guys know what that means? Well, we're going to find out Jesus did something very special for all of us, if you don't know, and that will allow me and you guys and everyone to live forever. Today's Bible verse is Romans chapter 8, verse 11, which says, "The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you." Let's say that together. The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you. Wow, that's awesome. I can't wait to learn more today.
Have you heard the story of how God so loved the world that He gave to all of us His only Son? Jesus grew into a man, He healed the sick, He loved the lonely, He gave God's love away to everyone. Jesus gave it all. The people followed Him, they'd never seen that kind of love. He loved them all no matter what they've done. But not everyone was happy. Some of them were jealous, so they made plans to kill God's only Son. Jesus gave it all. And one night while He was praying, some soldiers came to find Him. They took Him to their roof, who didn't know just what to do. They asked the people gathered just what they should do with Him. The crowds crucify Him, though He did nothing wrong. Jesus gave it all. And the soldiers tried to break Him. The crowds, they mocked and scorned. They led Him up a hill called Calvary, and they nailed Him to a cross. Still He asked God to forgive them. They didn't understand that it was all for you and me. Jesus gave it all. Jesus said, "It is finished." Then He took His final breath, and the sky grew black as midnight, and the earth began to shake, and the crowd began to tremble. They shook their heads in wonder, and the soldier said, "I know that this man was the Son of God." Jesus gave it all. And they took Him off the cross. They placed Him in a tomb. They rolled a large round stone in the doorway of the cave. Some soldiers, they stood watching, making sure no one could enter. Jesus' friends were sad and hopeless as they all went home that day. Jesus gave it all. On the morning of the third day, His mother Mary came to see Him, to make His body ready for the grave where He would lay. But the tomb, it was empty. An angel came to tell her, He's not here, He's risen. See, the stone's been rolled away. Jesus gave it all. Jesus gave it all. Jesus gave it all.
Hi guys, now would be a great time to pause your video and work on some of your take-home activities. And when you're done, come back and we'll meet a new friend. All right, are you guys ready to meet our memory buddy for today? Today's memory buddy's name is Finn. Can you guess why? Because he has fins. That's right. Finn is a trout. He's a fish that swims in streams. So let's meet Finn and learn more about him.
Are you ready to splash into another fantastic day at VBS? I'm Finn, a rainbow trout. I'm happiest when I'm taking a dip in a clean, bubbly mountain stream. This is the life. This stream is where I began life. This exact spot where I hatched is pretty important to me, but we'll get to that later. I spend most of my day flipping my fins, swishing my scales, and exploring this awesome river looking for food. I love to eat. Me and my fishy friends spend about 80% of our day looking for food. I use my mouth to poke around and look for good stuff to eat. And sometimes I end up getting a mouthful of weeds and sticks. Not bad. Of course, it's not as good as the bugs or the crustaceans I usually like. I'll even jump out of the water for them. God gave me something super sharp to help me find food. My eyes. They show me what to eat and what to stay away from. After being born, I might travel to a new stream far away from my home. But when it's time to lay eggs, rainbow trout always return home. My cousins, steelhead trout, travel from a freshwater stream all the way to the ocean. Even if they've lived in the ocean for a couple of years, they swim against the stream to make it back home. That takes a lot of power. Wow. Home is important to me and my fish family. Jesus knew that a forever home was important too. That's why Jesus died, to pay for all the wrong things you've ever done or will ever do. Because those sins are paid for, you can have life forever in an awesome place called heaven. But Jesus' power doesn't just cover your sins. Jesus is so powerful that he beat death forever. But it gets even better. The Bible tells us the Spirit of God, who raised Jesus from the dead, lives in you. That means a friendship with Jesus gives you the same awesome power that let him beat death. Wow! So, if you're feeling worried or sad, or things seem out of control, remember that Jesus' power is bigger than anything, and it's right there for you. Jesus' power lets us live forever. Trust Jesus.
Hi guys, I have another special friend that I'd like you to meet today, and his name is Isaac.
I'm Isaac and I'm 11 years old. At home I like to, a lot of times I play video games. I have two brothers. One's older than me. He's into acting and singing. My younger brother Elijah, he's 7. My sister's name is Zoe, but she, like a normal 4-year-old toddler, will make messes all the time, paint on the walls.
Isaac also dances.
I started dancing, I think like 2 years ago. My favorite kind of dance is contemporary or lyrical. It's sort of like ballet, but it's a little more free. I always felt like when I was dancing, I wasn't really stressed about anything or worried. Sort of forget about anything else that is bothering you.
Isaac had another brother named Joel.
Joel was 2 years younger than I am. He was always really happy and joyful. When he was 1, he was diagnosed with brain cancer.
Cancer is a disease that most kids do not have or get.
He had to do some crazy thing to get rid of it, and it was gone for a year. But then it came back and they said he only had a few months to live, but then he lived 5 more years.
Sadly, Isaac's little brother Joel died.
One of the things I remember a lot about him is he always had that like little giggle. He always loved knocking cup towers down. So he'd make one that was like maybe double the size of him, and he'd run into it, and it would come down, and he'd laugh so hard. A lot of times we'd take him to this farm. It was like a petting zoo in some places, and you could feed the animals. I have this one memory of Joel. He was feeding the goats, so we give him the bag to reach in and give to the goats, but then he just gives the bag to the goats, and the goat devours the whole thing. Joel always loved animals. One time he got to ride a pony, and he was so happy. He loved it.
Isaac misses his brother Joel. Joel loved Jesus and believed in him too.
A lot of times I feel sort of like I miss him and pretty sad, but I'm glad that he's in heaven and he can do so many things that I can't even do right now. Dancing always like cheers me up because it makes me think about God and how he's with Joel and he is amazing.
Isaac knows that because of Jesus, he will be able to see his brother again in heaven.
I sort of look forward to hearing his giggle, and I look forward to running up to him and giving him a grand old hug.
In the Bible, the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 11 says, "The Spirit of God who raised Jesus from the dead lives in you."
I feel like that verse makes me feel like sort of hopeful that we can share the power of God and the Holy Spirit with the whole world, and that one day we can all know Jesus and God and praise and worship together. Even if we die, we still get to live forever in heaven with God, and Jesus' power is letting you live forever.
Jesus' power lets us live forever.